Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Swiss Army knife because of course it is Super Sack Saturday, an open tag started by my good friend John over at Thrifty Kniffy. Please go check him out, he's got a wonderful collection of knives, just some fantastic content, and if you like what I do you're definitely going to love what John does. On with today's video, of course it's going to be a Swiss Army knife. This is one that's been discontinued, but it's definitely not forgotten by myself. Picked this up recently on the secondary market, and this is the 84mm Tinker. So they do a 91mm, which is the normal Tinker. So this is the Tinker Small. You can see it's a 2-layer design, and with it being 84mm, we are looking at, where are we? 3.4 inches close, so 84mm in total. Please, it is a second-hand knife and it has been used by the person that owned it before me. So, of course, it's not perfect. You've got some scale sort of scratches on here, a little bit beaten up. It's in the middle of a restoration from myself, so I've done a little bit of work to it, got the blades freed up, sharpened all the blades, but they still need a little bit of work to get some of the gunk out from the inside. But I wanted to bring you guys this Super Sack Saturday with my 84mm Tinker. So we'll take a look through it. The red Celador scales with that inlaid silver Victorinox shield on there. Do have scale tools on this on the front and the rear, along with the keyring at the top. Of course, that wonderful red Celador on the back as well. As I mentioned, the scale tools, we have the tweezers on the front and then the toothpick on the back as well. We do have some external tools on the back as well. We have the reamer with the sewing eye. It's not on there because this is an older model. So you can see we've got the smoother design here. Nice nail nick. Punch has been used, but still plenty of point on there. I've given it a bit of a sharpen on that edge so you can really feel it biting into your skin when you're touching it. Really great little tool. I do think I prefer the ones without the sewing eye, but I don't think that's something I'd ever use. But still, great snap on that as well. Something else that you can tell this is an older model as well. We have the, of course, with a Tinker, you'd have the Phillips screwdriver on the back instead of the corkscrew. But you can see we have the can key on there as well. I don't know if you can see through the gap. So you'd use that to open like a tin, maybe like a tin of corned beef instead of the key you get on the can. So you put that metal tab through there, and of course you can just twist and open it. Quite difficult to see. If I bring it up to the camera, it might be a bit easier for you. There, you can see the gap there in the middle. So after dating this on the tang stamp, this is between 1976 and 1986. The closest I've been able to sort of get it is in that date range. I can't really get it any closer than that. I've tried looking inside the scales for the date code, and I can't see it in there at all. So we've got that 10-year range, but this is quite an old one. We do have the opening layer on the front, standard for most Victorinox. You can see we have the can opener with the small flathead screwdriver, which of course can be used for a small Phillips as well. Nice snap on that on the open. You can see this has had some use as well, which is nice to see that whoever's used it before me has actually used all the tools. Still a nice point on there for puncturing a can. A little bit of a weak snap on that. I don't think the spring's worn out. I think it just needs some of the gunk cleaning out from the inside, but I'll definitely get to that and get that sorted. But still, decent snap on the open, just a little bit lazy on the close. Another designation that this would be an older model as well is we have the can opener, or the cap lifter, sorry, with no half stop, which I think is something I really prefer. I wish they would go back to doing that. We do of course have the wire stripper here, cap lifter, and the larger flathead screwdriver, which of course you could use for a pry bar or a number 2 Phillips on this corner here. And again, you can see the use marks on this, which I really do like getting an older knife that you can see someone's used and they've definitely cherished it. Nice action on this. No sticking, just nice and smooth. Along with that, we have another layer on the back, and that would be the small pen blade on the very back. You can see he's got a nice sharp edge I've put on there. Don't think this blade has been used terribly much. You see a little bit of scratching on the blade there, but nothing too major. See a little bit of dirt there that needs to be cleaned off as well. But it does have a nice edge on it now, razor sharp and ready for use. It does have that nice clean nail nick and that still that finish they do on Victorinox, something I really love. It's like that tumbled polish finish. You can really see like where it's been hit by like the stones when they tumble it, but then polished really well as well. Do love that finish on the knives they do. Nice snap on that too. Really great action. and then onto the main blade. So you can see here from the tang stamp we have the older style 4-layer tang stamp. So you've got Victorinox, Switzerland stainless, and rust fry. And you can see from Victorinox the V is the same size as the rest of the letters, which does designate it to be in that 76 to 86 range. And along with that as well, what confirms it for me is we have the crossbow on the back with the cross touching the crossbow, which does fit perfectly in that. And of course you have Officer Swiss underneath there as well, and that really nice main blade. You can see the use on there as well, scratches, but it doesn't bother me. It's going to be a user for me. All my Swiss Army knives are. Nice sharp edge on there I've put on. It's really, really well used. It's nice to see. I know I've said it already, but it's nice to see when someone uses their Swiss Army knives for what they're meant for. But they definitely knew how to sharpen, because we've not lost any sort of belly on the blade. See that nice clean tang, no swedging or anything like that. Of course, this being an 84mm model, we have a slightly smaller blade than the 91. Tip to tang, we have 1 to 2.5, pretty much bang on, and then a cutting edge of 2.2, just about. So very UK friendly knife, definitely a world friendly knife. I don't know anywhere that wouldn't accept a Swiss Army knife. Nice action on that blade. Does need a little bit of a clean out inside as well. You can see there's a bit of gunk in there, but we'll get to that and get it sorted. But really happy with this pickup. Got it for an absolute bargain off of Etsy. Did not expect to find an 84mm Tinker. I thought they were long gone, but glad to get my hands on one. Of course, if I find one in better condition, I may pick that up as well and just make this a full-time user. But for now, this is going to be a great piece to add to the collection. Really fantastic piece. Wish it would have come in a bit better condition, but, you know, something I hadn't had in my collection, I pretty much had to pick it up there and then. So there we go, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this Super Sack Saturday review of the Victorinox 84mm Tinker. So that's the Tinker Small. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.